Sukaina was the daughter of Imam Husain and Lady Rubab. It is important to mention here that people may get confused when they hear three different names, that is Ruqayya, Sukaina and Sakina. Ruqayya and Sukaina are two different personalities and both were present in Karbala. Their miseries and hardships are almost the same, as both were undergoing a similar kind of ordeal. Both were thirsty, both were beloved to their father and uncle. According to one narration, Sukaina died when the looted caravan was stopped outside the wall of Damascus so that Yazid could decorate the whole city to celebrate his victory. Due to her thirst, starvation and the manhandling by Yazid's forces, she couldn't survive and died at the gate outside the city where they were asked to stop. Other narrations state that she returned to Medina and died there. Ruqayya, on the other hand, died in the prison of Yazid. In South Asia, scholars often mix the miseries of both ladies and suggest that Ruqayya and Sukaina are actually the same personality, whom they call Sakina. So it is advisable to pay close attention to these two different ladies in this film. Lady Sukaina was a beautiful and delicate little girl. She was attached to almost everyone. Her attachment with her uncle Abbas is discussed in many books. Historians write that when Yazid ibn Muawiyah's forces deprived Imam Husain's family from water, there was a panic in Imam Husain's camp as the children were crying for water. So when Hazrat Abbas, who was the commander of Imam Husain's army, saw Sukaina coming towards him with lots of children who were requesting water, he stood up and walked towards Imam Husain and asked for permission to go to the battlefield for the sake of Sukaina and to get water for all the children. Many historians recall this moment as the most difficult decision for Imam Husain to take, to allow his brother to go out alone in front of Yazid's forces who were in the thousands. But when Imam Husain looked at Sukaina and the other children, he allowed Hazrat Abbas to go and get some water for them. Upon seeing him leave, Lady Zainab told him that they would be vulnerable in his absence. Imam Husain's decision to allow Hazrat Abbas to go towards the battlefield, knowing that he wouldn't come back, suggests a father is willing to lose anything for his daughter, despite how precious it may be. But Imam Husain chose divine sacrifice over his family and over father-daughter relations.
As a father,
Ashura was the day that challenged the limit of tolerance and patience, and it went beyond the established boundary. It went beyond the capacity of normal human beings. The members of the Ahlul Bayt were exceptional, be it the 56-year-old Lady Zainab or the 4-year-old Sukaina. The level of patience is sometimes difficult to comprehend. When Hazrat Abbas was martyred and Imam Husain carried his flag back to the camp, then Sukaina had to witness another battle which started right after Imam Husain's beheading. Yazid ibn Muawiyah, with his governor of Kufa and Basra, Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad, outlined a strategy that made sure that the ordeal of Imam Husain's family would not end after the killing of the male members. Yazid's forces began attacking Imam Husain's camp, harassing the women and children, robbing everything they found in their possession. When the camps were burnt down and Yazid's forces started celebrating, Sukaina found herself alone and helpless. She had heard stories about her grandfather Imam Ali, who comes to rescue people, so she called out to him for help. On the evening of Ashura, the remaining members of Imam Husain's caravan were taken into captivity and sent to Damascus in order to present them in front of Yazid. These captives were injured, thirsty and starving. They were chained and taken to Damascus. Sukaina was really young, but her intellect, patience and courage to bear this extreme pain was extraordinary. But the separation from her father was such a disturbing moment for her. It is said that when Imam Husain reached Karbala, he instructed his sister Lady Zainab to take care of Sakina and keep her away from him, as she used to sleep on his chest. Imam Husain knew that he would not survive the battle and that Sakina would have to find a way to sleep without him. After the death of Imam Husain, it did indeed become very difficult for Sakina to sleep at night. Yazid's cruelty had no match. He chose the darkest cell from his dungeon, where one could not even see a ray of light. He knew about the attachment of Lady Zainab with Imam Husain, so he brought the heads of the martyrs and put them in front of Lady Zainab and Imam Zain al-Abidin in order to humiliate them further. Yazid also knew about Sakina's attachment to her father, so he decided to torment her further. In regards to Lady Ruqayya, who was younger than Sakina, there was not a single night when this young girl did not weep and call out for her father. Historians write that little Ruqayya used to weep all night and said to her brother Imam Zain al-Abidin that she would not survive. So when Yazid had come to know about this, he sent the head of Imam Husain to Ruqayya in the prison. There are differing accounts on this event. Few historians say that the head of Imam Husain was covered with dust and blood, and so it was not recognizable, so Ruqayya at first refused to accept that this was her father's head. Other accounts narrate that when she received the head, she screamed and then silenced herself. Historians write further that she put her head on Imam Husain's head and slept, but that she never woke up. Looking at history, it suggests that there are two personalities, and it could be supported through some evidences such as the shrine of Lady Ruqayya. But it doesn't mean the Masa'ib which the South Asian scholars recite for Lady Sakina are wrong or historically incorrect. The Masa'ib are historically and factually accurate, but sometimes they are confused and mixed, which results in the merger of two personalities into one. Sometimes it is difficult to decide what was more painful, to get killed on Ashura or become a captive with the haunting memories of Ashura. Looking at captives like Sakina and Ruqayya, the latter seems more painful.